Welcome to another episode of IFS Insights and Meditations, a podcast that explores the internal family systems model and gives you some meditations to put what you learn into practice. IFS is an innovative and powerful approach that helps individuals understand and heal their internal parts. By recognizing and nurturing the different aspects of ourselves, we can cultivate inner harmony and self-compassion. I'm your host, Tim Fortescue, and today I'm going to lead you in an IFS meditation that anyone can do, but I include some terminology from the Christian worldview. So let's dive in with some courage and confidence, if we can. This meditation integrates the principles of internal family systems, or IFS, with a Christian perspective. It encourages you to connect with the indwelling presence of something bigger than yourself, or maybe you want to call it the Holy Spirit, your true self, and explore your inner parts with compassion and curiosity. Through the guidance of the self, or Holy Spirit, you offer healing and restoration to wounded parts, releasing burdens and finding wholeness. This process is ongoing and can always return to this inner space of connection with self and God. Through the guidance of self, or Holy Spirit, you offer healing and restoration to wounded parts, releasing burdens and finding wholeness. This process is ongoing, and know that you can always return to this inner space of connection with God and self. So let's begin by finding a comfortable position. Close your eyes if you'd like, but if that's uncomfortable, you can just let your gaze rest softly in front of you. Let the tension in your body melt away with each exhale. Allow yourself to enter a state of relaxation and stillness. Just take a couple deep cleansing breaths. And know that I encourage you to pause this recording as often as you need to if your system needs more time than I allow. Visualize yourself sitting in a peaceful and safe place. Maybe it's a beach or a forest or the mountains. Imagine that you're surrounded by a warm and loving light that embraces you, makes you feel safe and protected. Now bring to mind an image of your inner child, the part of you that's playful, curious, and innocent. See the child standing in front of you, looking up at you with trust and love. See if you can greet this child with kindness and compassion. Let them know that you're here to protect and care for them. And as you're checking into your inner child and your inner world, notice if there are other parts that may have some fears or concerns about you doing this or about this process. Acknowledge them, but let them know that they can have a chance to spend some time with you too if they'd like. Next, visualize another part of yourself that represents your emotions, such as anger, sadness, fear, joy. Maybe it's some of these parts that have some fears or concerns. And see this part standing beside your inner child. And acknowledge their presence with some curiosity and openness if you can. Ask this part what they need from you right now. See if you can listen to their response without judgment or criticism. It may be helpful to see if they're aware of the inner child. And it may be helpful to check in with the inner child and see if they're aware of this part that represents your emotions. Just check in with both of them and see how they're responding, how they're doing. See if there's anything else that your inner child wants you to know, or that you may want to share with your inner child. Check in with the part that represents your emotions. See if there's anything else that it wants to share. Do you want to share anything else with it? And finally, imagine a wise and compassionate part of yourself that represents your inner guidance and wisdom. See if you can imagine this part standing behind you, supporting you with love and wisdom. Ask this part for guidance and support in dealing with any challenges or difficulties that you might be facing right now. And just imagine this part of you that includes your belovedness, something bigger than yourself at the core. God, Spirit, Holy Spirit. Just imagine this part of you extending compassion to that little one inside of you, to the part or parts that may be filled with emotion. Maybe a little fearful or sad or angry. See if you can extend some calmness and compassion to these parts of you. And as we begin to close for now, check internally one more time. See if there are any more parts or voices that may need to be heard. And as we usually do when it feels complete for now, thank all your parts for their courage and as little or as much as they've shared and for all they've done. Let them know that you want to spend more time with them if they'd like that. And let them know when you'll do this. When you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes if they were closed. Take a few moments to ground yourself in the present moment. Notice how you feel in your body and mind. See if you can carry this sense of inner peace and connection with you as you go about your day. But thank you to you and to all your parts for joining me in this meditation. Episode, be sure to subscribe or follow the podcast and share it with others. You can find more about me and my coaching practice at faithfullygrowing.com. Finally, feel free to email me questions that you might have to tim@faithfullygrowing.com. I'd love to get to know you a little more and engage as it makes sense. Until we meet again, take care of yourself and stay curious if you can. And if you can't, try to welcome the parts that struggle with being curious too.